Hi, welcome to Lesson 21, Session 3. Today is our refine session where we take everything we've learned and, as I always say, take it and put it into a nice, neat little package and put it all together to show what we've learned over the last few days. So we are going to go today. I will just go through the problems, and there's not many today. I will go through the problems one by one and give you some sentence frames and give you some hints and tips that might make it a little bit easier to navigate through on your own. So with that, we're going to be in our Ready Classroom math workbook. We'll be on pages 433 and 434. So go ahead and turn to your Ready Classroom math workbook and turn to page 433. So we're at the top of page 433. It says apply it, complete these problems on your own. Now, on number one, this is what the problem says. It says use reasoning, meaning use your brain, to order the following expressions from least to greatest, meaning I want you to really think about what is a reasonable answer. Do not calculate any of the products. Don't do the math. You do not need to do it. It is totally unnecessary. And then explain your reasoning. So we're going to look at these three products, and I want you to tell me which product is the least, which is the middle, and which is the greatest. And so we have 7/9 times 348,980. We have 12/11 times 348,980, and 50/50 times 348,980. So I want you to think about the factors in each of these expressions, and I want you to tell me which one is the least, the middle, and the greatest. Like which one would have the least, the product would be the least, the middle, or the greatest. And so I'm going to give you a hint that looking at the second factor is going to be the hint that tells you which order those go in. And think about what you know. What have you learned over the last couple of days? If you need a hint, you can always go back into past lessons to find maybe some hints or tips or tricks that would help you to know which of those factors goes in on which of these expressions. Number two. Two towns are comparing populations. Town A has 285,310 residents, and Town B has 9/10 of 285,910 residents. Or Town B, you could also say that as Town B has 9/10 times 285 times 310 residents. Remember that multiplication sign is a fancy way of saying of. Now, to compare the two populations of the two towns, Jonah said the population of Town A is 9/10 of the population of Town B. Is he correct? Explain your answer. So you're going to use this sentence frame. Jonah is or is not, you're going to choose your choice and write it on the line, correct because, and then you're going to tell me why Jonah is or is not correct. And if you look at the little hint that I gave you, I bet that it will help you out. Number 3 says this. Jillian said that the product of a given number and a fraction is always, the key word there, it's always less than the given number. Is Jillian correct? So what Jillian's saying is that anytime you have any number and you multiply it by a fraction, you will always, your product will always be less than the given number. So if you multiply any number times any fraction, she's saying that the answer will always be less than the number. Is that true? Think about what you know about fractions. Think about different types of fractions. And you're going to tell me Jillian is correct because, and tell me why she's correct. Or you're going to tell me Jillian is not correct because, and then tell me why she is not correct. The trick is the word always. Any number times any fraction, Jillian says it's always less than the number. So Jillian says that it's always less than the number. Is she correct? Number 4, you can compare the size of a product to the size of its factors in a multiplication equation if you know whether the factors are greater than, less than, or equal to 1. So I really want you to remember that. That's why I put that star there. We're going to write a multiplication equation, one that's different than any in this lesson, in which the product is greater than both of its factors. At least one factor should be a fraction. So you're going to have you're going to multiply this number times this number equals this number. And we want the product to be greater than both of these factors. And one of these factors must be a fraction. And then I want you to draw a model to support your answer. So just draw an area model. If you really don't want to draw an area model, you could also draw a number line. You pick. Now for part B, we're going to do the opposite. We're going to write a multiplication equation different from any in this lesson in which both factors are fractions. So both factors are fractions and the product is less than both of its factors. So in this case, they're both going to be fractions and the product is going to be less than both of its factors. And then you can, again here, I would probably draw an area model, but you guys can pick. You're going to do an area model or a number line to support your, to show what your equation looks like, to show me where here your product is going to be less than both of the factors, and here your product is going to be more than both of your factors. Finally, how does 4/4 times 8/5 compare to 8/5? Explain your reasoning. So 4/4 times 8/5 is, you're going to tell me whether it's less than, equal to, or more than 8/5, and then tell me why. So you're going to circle one of these choices. 4/4 times 8/5 is, will the resulting product be less than, equal to, or more than 8/5? And then tell me why. And with that, that's the end of this session, if you can believe that. So you're going to do all of those problems on your own. If you have any questions or if you are stuck on one of these problems, please email your teacher and they will be able to help you out. See you soon.